go ahead, order your free. This is not the same as credit monitoring. This is your annual credit report. Go ahead and order and take a picture of that for me. Take a picture. This here is your annual credit report. With your annual credit report, this is something you can get free every year, okay? This here is not going to have a score on it either. And I'll tell you later why that doesn't have a score on a different call. We don't have time today. But this is going to be different than your credit monitoring. This will actually have everything that's pertinent to your credit report. This report you will not send in to the collection agencies later or to the credit bureaus or anything like that, i.e. Experian, i.e. Equifax or TransUnion, nor are you going to send this directly to a collection agency or anything of this nature. This is for you. So when you go to analyze these credit reports, what's going to be on them? When you analyze this, you may have public records. What's a public record? A tax loan, a tax lien, judgment, bankruptcies. Those are public records, okay? Most of us, a lot of times, you're going to have derogatory things. Your collections on your account, late payments are going to fall within your unsatisfactory accounts. Your derogatories are your collections, your charge-off. I'm going to show you how to address those things. So they're going to be broken into those categories. When you look at your credit report, a lot of times you're going to see some marks on there, okay? That green, those look good. So you want to be very detailed in scanning your credit report. One of the things that you want to start off with is looking at how your name and your address. Do not overlook this first step. I repeat, scan for old and your name addresses to make sure it's correct. This one step can increase your, I've seen it increase people as many as 75 points. Why? Correcting this part on your credit report, it can remove a charge-off. It can remove collections. It can remove all type of things just by correcting your name. What am I saying, Corey? When you look at your credit report, there's going to be little ID numbers that's attached to each one. Those are attached, I believe it or not, to addresses. So by you correcting your address, and all of a sudden you look at your credit report and you see your name spelled 4 different ways, or you have Corey XYZ ... and then you have Corey middle initial. So you want to say, this is my name. Send in your you want to send in your letter. My name only reads this way. I only live at 100 Smith Way. Okay, not 102 Smith Drive, whatever your address is. My own. I do not live at any of these X amount of previous addresses. So you want to get off those things off of your actual credit report. Why is this important? Even if it has no effect on your credit report initially, can it do it later on? It's building your credit profile is what it's doing. What am I saying? A year down the line, when you're getting financing and you're getting funding and you're getting business funding and so forth, they're looking at your credit profile. It's just like a resume. If you're looking at somebody's resume and they've been at 10 jobs over the last 6 months, what are you probably going to say? That person's unstable. I'm not sure if I want to hire them or not. The same thing goes for your credit report. If they look at your credit report and say, hey, this person has 5 different names and this person lives at 10 different addresses over X amount of period, this person is unstable. So what you're doing is you're cleaning up your credit profile. Again, do not miss this step, okay? Do not miss this step, okay? The next thing is what you want to do is scan those things. Look for those colors. Those greens, that means you've been paying that thing on time. When you start getting into that 30-day, 60-day, 90-day period, that's going to start to mean those payments are either late or they're derogatory or they've even become delinquent. And you start to have collections or even having charge-offs. So green is good. Everything else, red is starting to get a little worse, and black is then a collection. So you want to keep those green ones. Everything else we want to look at, okay? So what's going to be on that credit report? Like I said before, you're going to have inquiries, late payments, collections, possibly repossessions, tax liens, bankruptcies, no credit, possibly high balances. When you're looking at your credit report, again, make sure you're scanning that credit report and looking at your balances to make sure the balances are correct, okay? So again, credit reports. You want to also, again, when you have credit reports, you have the major credit reports, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, right? What you don't know is there are smaller credit reports. Actually, it's about 40 plus smaller credit bureaus. Okay, the LexisNexis, the CoreLogic, the Advanced ARS, the Innovis, places like that. What are they doing? This thing, something called eOscar. Okay, so in actuality, when you're applying for credit, they're not really even talking to TransUnion. TransUnion is saying they have eOscar. This basically that's the middleman that's talking over here to LexisNexis or ARS, and they're saying, "Hey, did Jimmy have a collection? Did Jimmy have a repo? Did he get put out of his apartment back in XYZ date?" Or that's what's happening. So what you can actually do is silence the smaller credit bureaus. You can silence LexisNexis. You can silence Innovis, ARS, places like that. It's what you call freezing the smaller credit bureaus. That's not what I'm going to teach you here. You can definitely Google it, and you can definitely go into each individual and freeze those particular sites. Some people love to do it on every single one. I personally did not do it in Repairing Mind, but definitely if you have public records, I do recommend it. It doesn't hurt you to do it, that's for sure, but it can speed the process. You just want to save all the necessary information. So going forward, if you need to unfreeze later, you have the steps to unfreeze.